Thanks, Steve. Warming shelters in Northeast Wisconsin are welcoming in those who need to get out of the cold.
St. John's Ministries in Green Bay has opened up its men's and women's shelters until April 30th. The new community shelter in Green Bay is open 24 hours, 7 days a week.
In Oshkosh, the day-by-day warming shelter is open until mid-April. Manitowoc warming shelter is open through April 10th, and we have details on where you can find a warming shelter near you at WBAY.com.
It's important to protect yourself and the ones you love from extreme cold. Aisha is at the First Alert Safety Desk this morning. And from dressing in layers to winterizing your home, Aisha, there's a few things to take care of this time of year.
All right, Emerson, we'll start with how dangerous Arctic air can be, something to think about as we get further into these colder months. The National Weather Service says people exposed to extreme cold are susceptible to frostbite, and hypothermia can kick in a matter of minutes depending on the temperature. A good way to stay safe is remembering the 4 P's: people, pets, pipes, and plants. And on a day like today, you'll want to, as you heard Steve, minimize your time outside. It's important to check in on older people or any loved ones who are vulnerable, including anyone with health concerns. Keep your pets warm and dry on a day like today. Insulate your pipes at home if possible. Open up sink cabinets to expose those pipes to heated air. And if you have plants, know their temperature threshold and get those covered up if you need to. Before you head out the door this morning, think about dressing in layers when the temperatures plunge. This is also from the National Weather Service, what you're seeing right here. On a day like today, you'll want those extra layers, things like a hat, boots, gloves. Areas most prone to frostbite are uncovered skin and the extremities like your hands and feet. Really important, especially if you work outside. Hypothermia happens when your body loses heat faster than it can produce it. And in First Alert Traffic, we've been talking about making sure you have an emergency kit in your vehicle. Wisconsin DOT says last winter there were more than 13,000 crashes in Wisconsin. 32 people died and more than 2,500 people were hurt. So make sure you're ready by having an emergency kit with things like warm clothes, blankets, water, emergency energy bars, first aid kit, a cell phone charger, and keep your tank at least half full in the winter. It's really all about preparedness this time of year, Tammy.
Aisha, thank you for those important reminders. And due to the dangerous cold, the Wapaka Yuletide Parade scheduled for today has been canceled for safety reasons. But despite the cancellation, several other holiday events are still happening, including the Danes Hall Plaza tree lighting ceremony. That's at 5:30 tonight. City leaders also say all scheduled events for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday will go on as planned. You can point your smartphone camera at that code right there on your screen right now to get weather alerts, current conditions, and interactive radar, all on the First Alert Weather app. It's also available on the App Store and Google Play.